they would have those family review questions for even what was taught in the Sunday sermon. And they just put a slide up at the end of the service to say, hey, here's 2 questions. Here's the passage we taught this Sunday morning. Here are 2 questions to dialogue with your family about it. And here's a memory verse and a catechism question that goes along with that. And so, that's one just really simple way to think about that. We've done that at times at our church with our small groups, whereas we may not put that on a slide in the large gathering, but small groups are talking about sermons in their homes during the week. And so we give them just a few questions to dialogue about the sermon with their kids as well, and relate a catechism question or a memory verse to that. And so, practically those take-home sheets in children's ministry, the potentially small group questions or Sunday school questions that relate to that. For folks who may be from a Baptist context and use something like Lifeway's curriculum or a Presbyterian context and use Great Commission Publications curriculum, one advantage you have with both of those curriculum sets is that they have those questions and answers that teach Bible doctrine. I think Great Commission calls it questions and answers, and Lifeway calls it a big picture question, that it corresponds between the adult curriculum and the kids curriculum, have the same question there. And so it gives you just something you can take home after Sunday and talk about in the minivan on the way home from church with your kids immediately. So, pick up those take home cards each week and talk about that with your children. And then I think the other part of the culture is just staff as a whole, those who are teachers in the church community, owning this language and using it. And that's something that is going to remind families or encourage families, if they've been memorizing the catechism and they hear it quoted on Sunday morning, they're like, oh, yeah, this is a part of my discipleship. My pastor thinks so too. So I think just having that be a part of the language that the teachers use is a really helpful way to encourage that sort of culture.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned those cards, and I know that you can get those cards online and purchase them. And, since you guys are Sojourn, I just have to ask, how many packages of the North Star Point booklets do you have to get before you get a free set of horn rim glasses?
That's really funny. I don't purchase horn rim glasses, so I don't know. Sorry, I could maybe figure out some kind of free giveaway, but
probably Rainforest Alliance. Freshly grown.
It would be like Beginner's Gospel Story Bible or something like that. It would not be. It would not be horn rim glasses.
Okay. It wouldn't be a Mac either, or some Rainforest Alliance coffee.
You always know the graphic design is going to be well done if it's something from Sojourn. So
that is true.
We believe in that. But
yes.
That's hilarious.
Well, tell us some stories of how the North Star Catechism has helped people and families at Sojourn and or elsewhere, whether it be somebody at your church or somebody across the world.
Yeah, okay. So I can think of 2 stories right away. And so one is a family who their kids just got really sick and were hospitalized. It was a homeschooling mom, and kind of the culture in their family had been to start kind of their day going over a catechism question and the memory verse. And in the midst of like that sickness and difficulty as a family, their homeschooling routine kind of stopped while they were taking care of one of their kids. But one of the older children in the family, just in ministering to his own mom, brought back some of the truth about God's love and his sovereignty over their situation. I don't even remember the exact question, but that was one that really stood out to me, was that the kid actually kind of got what we've wanted parents to do, and that is he had memorized the question, And now he was at a point in life where the question related to what his family was experiencing. And he kind of captured a conversation with his mom to remind her of that truth. So I thought that was a beautiful thing. The other is one thing I've seen, I don't even know if the kids know they're quoting the catechism to me, but as one of the advantages of being at a church for over a decade is you get to see kids grow up with things. And so now one of my responsibilities that I didn't have when I first came to Sojourn is to preach as part of the regular rotation in our junior high ministry. And so several times I'll go there and I'll ask a question in the middle of my sermon. What is sin, or what is God's glory, or what is God's grace? And never fail, there are 3 or 4 kids that will raise their hand and they'll quote the catechism to me. And I don't even know if they know that they're quoting the catechism. They've heard it so much in children's ministry, and probably did hear it at home through their parents as well. And I'm like, yeah, of course you know exactly what my sermon manuscript says, because you've been taught this. And so let's double click on this truth now and kind of dive a little deeper and unpack what that means. And so I think one of the great, really beautiful things for me about sticking with the same language and the same questions and answers over a number of years is that as the kids grow up, these concepts and truths become a part of the vocabulary. And it's something we can go back to and kind of really dive deeper with in our teaching as a church. So just 2 quick stories that came to mind.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, those are encouraging. Well, Jared, thank you for giving us your reflections and thoughts today. I know it was helpful for me, and I'm sure for Tony. If folks want to learn more about catechism in general, or specifically about the North Star Catechism, where can they go?
Yes, you want to learn specifically about the North Star Catechism, go to sojourn.com/North Star. That's where you'll find a free PDF download of the catechism, as well as some of the flashcards we've produced, and one little devotional booklet that we've produced for the first 14 questions or so. And that's the best place to find out about that. Another place you could go, my personal blog is that I share with a couple of other pastors, is gospelcenteredfamily.com. And if you go there and put catechism in the search bar, there are 3 or 4 different articles about how to use catechism in your home, and sort of experiences we've had with the catechism in our community as well. And so opportunity to read about those there.
All right, great. Well, thank you for listening today and for thinking with us about these things. If you've appreciated this episode, you found it helpful, please like it, share it on social media, and also word of mouth, and recommend it to others. And it just helps to further that conversation, to help get the gospel and how it impacts our lives into homes, into other churches. So we'd appreciate that. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. Tony is at
Anthony Trissoni.
And I'm at Ben Palaz. Jared, are you on social media?
I am. I'm at Jared S. Kennedy.
All right. So if you'd like to contact Jared as well. So again, thank you for listening, and blessings on you, your family, and your ministry. Until next time.